when I competed, my pace notes were like an A to Z of the local region. It was like the tourist board, a phone box, gate, white post, you know, because you just need those reference points.
No, destra, 100 a vista, no, sinistra 3 più.
Lorenzo Bertelli also back with us under restart rules this morning.
Yes, a leak between the water pump, and didn't really know how it happened, why it happened, but got it fixed. Back out. What was just interesting on Elvin's notes is he said to arrow. You know, you've got to hope no one has knocked that arrow out of the way. You know what I mean? I always remember there was a famous story with Colin McRae on one of the spectator stages on Rally GP 92, I think he was in a Legacy, and he had brake at straw bale, but they'd moved the straw bale when the stage went through, and he basically was flat chat, and anyway just sideways out of sight and then back into sight.
Huge frustration then for Kalle Rovanperä yesterday on the final stage. He had been leading the rally yesterday, and he was in a great battle with Thierry Neuville. Some fantastic pace and real, you know, considered driving for him yesterday. He was reading the road so well. He knew when he had to push, knew when he had to pull back yesterday, but then he got stuck on the final stage of the day in the deep sand, the fesh in the opening 900 meters of the final stage. Had to get towed out of the fesh, but he'd lost, I think it was 20 minutes just in that process alone, and by not completing the stage you take a stage penalty of 10 minutes, so it was better to do that than continue on.
3 right long, tight ledge, 5 plus maybe long, don't. Opens 3, very long.
I mean, Rovanperä didn't even think it had been particularly good when he took the lead. He was a bit shocked when he was told he was in the lead.
Yeah, well, I'm sure, I mean, you can't even begin to imagine how these guys are feeling, because they feel as if they are not on their maximum at any point, because they simply can't be. They're going to break the car if they do that. Elvin through 4.8 seconds quicker than Dani Sordo. Then it's a 9:18.6 for Elvin, 9:23.4 for Dani Sordo. This is a replay of Lorenzo, a little wide here.
Bit of a half spin, wasn't there? It looks like a stall.
Potentially stalled it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is underway again.
We're going very slowly now, though. Or is that just the road? That's just the road.
Just the road, 6.
There's such a contrast, isn't there, to the high speed and the slow speed. Massive. Whenever you see them going really slow, oh, what's happened? Nothing.
It's just really slow.
Really slow.
There was quite a few moments yesterday that caught me out. I thought we were, you know, either off the road or very, very slow, and it was literally them just going round corners. Loving hearing the Italian pace notes. Not on this sector, though. No need.
You see the holes, you see the dark bit on the left. This is what Gus Greensmith and Thierry were saying, was you need to swap sides down the straights to avoid these darker sections are either lumps of fesh or they're actually dips and compression and ruts. And they've got them. Neuville's got it in his nose, so has Greensmith, of basically keep right, keep left, 200, keep right on straight, 300, keep left on straight to avoid the dips.
Just 0.2 of a second off Elvin Evans' pace then. Kalle told me this morning, he said there's no need for the pace out there that I showed yesterday. He said, I really need to protect the car now.
Yeah, he's 7 minutes away from Formaux. So what he's got to do is stay on the road.
Yeah. Let's switch to Formaux then, and Renault Jamal, they're on the start line getting ready to go. I thought a really strong day for him yesterday, considering his, this is only the third now event we see him in a WRC car. He's still learning his trade behind the wheel of this car. But we did see some good pace in the two first split sectors of the last stage of the day. He was the quickest man in the stage.
I thought it was a strong day, and I don't recall him having any issues, any dramas at all.
No.
Which was the only driver in our World Rally cars to do that. I kind of got the impression yesterday that this morning, he preferred to drive just a little bit slower and enjoy the whole event. Because the bonnet's not shut. He's not got the bonnet pin in.
The bonnet pin is either come loose or they've not put it in.
On the left-hand side. To be fair, he should be all right as long as the wind doesn't get too much underneath there on the fast sections, which then might strain the right-hand bonnet pin. I remember years and years ago, early 90s, Toyota Celicas, their bonnets used to flap at high speed, but this was on purpose to let more air into the engine, to cool the engine. So they used to see this flap. Oh, it's the bonnet's loose. Ah, no, it's not. And it was the way that the bonnet pins were made that they could flap the bonnet. I'm talking like a centimetre or so, but it was really disturbing, but it was done on purpose. What were you looking bizarre?
No, we are with Kalle Rovanperä, but it says Lorenzo Bertelli. We are with Rovanperä, though. 2 tenths then behind Elvin Evans. And now we are with Bertelli. The yellow boards for him. It's a good bit off the pace of the front, but then he did have that half spin and he did stall. 10:11.4 is the time for Bertelli. Evans with the fastest time at the moment, which is 9:18.6.
Prima, I'm sure, is first. I'm sure Prima means first. So I'm not sure what he's talking about there. First gear, I'm sure. Oh, before. Okay. I'm sure Prima's first. I remember when I did some work in Italy, I learned Prima Seconda, first and second. Retro Marcio is reverse. Freno Marcio, I think, is braking.
Just means before.
There's a long time ago. There's a water butt just to the right. It's a water butt. Formaux up. Oh,
hello. But then we saw this on, well, obviously we saw it on the last stage yesterday, those 2 first splits. He was quickest. We did see some really good sectors during the day. Then he would back off and he kept saying, I'm looking after the car and protecting the car. And we could see it certainly in sections. You could visibly see him slow down where it was getting rougher.
The really gravelly section on the second stage of the week.
Big good morning to you from Kenya, then, from wherever you're watching WRC Plus all live around the world. First stage of the day.
These two, Evans and Rovanperä. It was like it was 0.5, 0.2, 0.3. It's kind of like, wow.
We're with Gus now and Chris Patterson.
Left, open tight minus into right, cut sharp left, close right, tight long minus 50, stop right sharp left, 40 turn 2 right plus minus.
Gus's attitude to it all yesterday.
Look at Chris's head. Just look at the far right of the shirt. He's just bobbing about.
We talked about how much they were getting shaken around in the car yesterday. You can really see it here.
Flat left, 30, entry, open 4 left plus tight minus crest, left, open tight, stone sharp 4 minus.
And those ruts.
4 plus, long left, 5.
Yeah, Gus's attitude yesterday, there were things going a little bit wrong sometimes, but he was just like, wow, it's a safari, this is it. That's the lake in the background you can see there.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, as he walked away from the microphone at the end of our interview, he shook his head at me and went, "It's crazy out there, but I love it."
I think for some of the, we mentioned yesterday, remember, I was slightly over enthusiastic, but a generation of drivers have waited to come. So many drivers have not, it's exactly the same time.
Yeah, they were tenths of seconds adrift of each other on the splits throughout the stage. Then Rovanperä and Evans with a joint overall time of 9:18.6 here. You're right, a generation of drivers have waited to come and compete here at the Safari Rally. You know, they've heard the legends, they've seen the television shows in the past, the fantastic photographic images we have at this event. And now is the first time for them to get their real taste of what the Safari is all about.
Third drivers in a team like M Sport and Hyundai. You know, Sunnanen's missed out, Breen's missed out. I don't know and can't remember what the agreement was for Safari Rally. Whether it was, we're not meant to come last year, we've come this year, is there coming in the future? And these drivers are thinking, right, so here we are, we're right behind them. You can see the dark patch on the left. This is what they want to avoid, so they're going to the right. Now they're moving across to the right to avoid that one. This is what they were saying.
Great second split though for Formaux. He's keeping that pace up. That's a split progress to the fastest drivers. Joint time, remember, with Rovanperä and Elfyn Evans, and Formaux is quicker.
He's in a little battle to a degree, wasn't he? He's 23 seconds behind Gus. 5th and 6th place, Gus and Adrian.
Back with Gus. We should be getting his first split coming through shortly. There's the split point. Split. The blue board is the actual split point itself. Hello? Hello!
Wow.
4 seconds quicker than Formaux, his teammate at M Sport. This is a strong start from Gus.
You saw yesterday, first on the road, I'm not saying it was the best place to be, but it seemed to be a better place. The Flesh Fest was more under control. Now we're seeing this more maybe potential regular sequence of events where it gets faster towards the end.
There is still some Fesh out there today, though, isn't there? Maybe not as much as we saw yesterday, but it is still there. And you could see a section of it in the stage.
There was one like big dip, wasn't it?
It was a deeply rutted corner, which was very, very sandy. Formaux has dropped a little time there then to the fastest through, 1.8 down. It's still a great run here as we switch now to our current world champions. Off the line and ready to start the 3rd day here at the Safari Rally.
derrière, Gauchimicom pour attention, 350 à fond, corps de cheval et 100 mètres derrière, gros 5 avant 255, pour droite 100 moins, Milon, droite 100 moins, Milon.
I think it'll be an interesting day for Ogier. He's 53 seconds off podium, he's 1 minute 49 behind the lead. And as he stressed last night, those time gaps are nothing here.
50 mètres, attention, gauche 120, plus pas corde. 50 mètres gauche 120, plus pas corde. Sur droite 120, plus mi-corde pas sortie.
I asked him whether he thought the Safari was tougher than he expected it to be, and he said no. He said, I knew it was going to be extremely difficult.
Julian Gracia came up to us in the media zone and he says, I don't know what you're saying about out in the stages. He goes, this is the toughest thing I've ever done. He says, then the sand and the